Right now at 5, the SEK Humane Society hosts its biggest fundraiser of the year, its annual Chili Feed. Plus, we're a little bit cold to start this day, but it is going to be pretty nice coming up. We'll break down that forecast. And First Community Church in Joplin plays host to a chocolate festival that helps women seek higher education opportunities.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning. Welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5 a.m. I am Chris Warner. I don't know about any of you, but I stayed up as late as I could last night to watch that Chiefs game, and boy, it was a heck of a game. They had me a little worried in that first half with that 10-point deficit, but boy, did they come back in the second. I cannot believe that 65-yard punt return either. That was incredible. Teed them up for an easy score. We're going to talk more about the Chiefs here in just a moment, but if you happen to be sick from work today or otherwise spending your Monday at home, you couldn't have picked a better day because it's going to be absolutely gorgeous to go celebrate the Chiefs' victory safely today and smartly. MoDOT camera 32nd in range line. We are looking good so far. 7th in range line, same thing. Cold though, 36, feels like 29 in Joplin with a west-northwest breeze at 9 miles an hour. Across the region, we're at 31 Yates Center and Iola, 32 Parsons, 39 Miami, and 37 Neosho this morning. As we start our day, again, like I said, it's a little cold to start, but we're going to have plentiful sunshine, mostly clear to just plain old clear skies out there, warming up to about 48 by 11 this morning. And as we go into the afternoon, look at this. We're heading for highs in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees with plentiful sunshine out there. However, you see that partly cloudy icon by 4. Clouds are going to increase this evening. Will become mostly cloudy into the evening hours, down to 47 for a low. And then we're watching the possibility of some showers late tonight that could evolve into a few scattered thunderstorms as we head into tomorrow. So as you can see, they start overnight as showers, and then again a few thunderstorms possible tomorrow. The good news is at this time, no severe weather expected, but this is going to be a nearly all-day rain event before it clears out for us. We're not talking a ton of rain, but locally heavier amounts possible with some of those thunderstorms. We're looking anywhere from about half an inch to about right around 3/4 of an inch of rain. We'll get to weather trivia later. I always do that. Up to 56 tomorrow, 65 Wednesday, but Wednesday we're looking at a 40-degree temperature drop between the afternoon high and the overnight low as another wave comes through and puts us back into winter mode. Could see some light snow, mainly in our northwestern counties Thursday morning, only 35 down to 18. We're 39 Friday, but as you can see, we head into the weekend. Yeah, we got some cloudy skies, we got some rain chances, but temperatures rebound back to above normal highs into the mid-50s, maybe even the upper 50s out there. Well, last night was the much-anticipated Super Bowl. Chiefs and Eagles fans from all around the 4 states gathered with their friends, families, and pets to see which of their teams would win. And, of course, if you managed to stay up and watch the game, excuse me, you know who won. It was the Chiefs. A score of 38-35 doing it AFC Championship style. Harrison Butker's 27-yard field goal in the final seconds of the game won the Chiefs their second Super Bowl in 4 seasons. If you want to hear more about the game, stick around because we'll have all those details coming up in sports. Well, fentanyl test strips are currently illegal to use in Kansas, but Governor Kelly says the use of the strips could save lives. The strips detect whether a drug contains the opioid fentanyl, which can be deadly in small doses. Cherokee County Sheriff says there are arguments on both sides about legalizing these strips. While people should never use illegal substances, the strips can spot deadly fentanyl.
Say with fraudulent prescription drugs is you don't always know the amount of fentanyl that may be in them because they're not those pills are not manufactured in a laboratory. They're manufactured in a clandestine lab, and so one pill may contain no fentanyl and the next one contain a deadly amount.
Now, Grove says law enforcement officers in the region carry Narcan, a nasal spray to treat opioid overdoses. That's because in many cases, they arrive on medical emergency scenes before an ambulance does. We'll have more on this in our 6 o'clock hour. Well, the Southeast Kansas Humane Society hosted their 46th annual chili dinner in Pittsburgh on Sunday. Humane Society gathered 375 pounds of meat to make over 500 pounds of homemade chili. Chili dinner included a bowl of chili, dessert, crackers, and a drink. Humane Society also sold quarts of their famous chili for $15 apiece.
Yeah, so with this event, we always have it on Super Bowl Sunday. It's always a great show of support. So whether you can come out personally and see us, but if you'd like to support us and need to get back on that road for your event, that's why we do the drive-through with those $15 quarts. So not only are you enjoying your football party, but while you're eating that chili, you're supporting animals at your local Humane Society.
This event is the Humane Society's biggest fundraiser of the year. Well, First Community Church in Joplin hosted a chocolate festival to raise money for the philanthropic educational organization. The festival offered visitors chocolate party trays, pies, cakes, and cookies for any Super Bowl party, as well as a salad lunch.
Well, last year, because of COVID, we had to cancel, and that we thought, okay, maybe we just won't do this again, because it's a lot of work and preparation, but it's one day and then it's over. And so brought it up, and they said, oh, of course we're going to do the chocolate festival. And we had some plans that got canceled. So, and then we were worried we might not, people would forget about it or not ever, but nope, they didn't.
The philanthropic educational organization provides educational opportunities for women. Well, the Pittsburgh Public Library celebrated Galentine's Day by hosting an afternoon of crafts, chocolate, and book title bingo before the big game yesterday. The event was hosted by the library's Adult Services Department and inspired by the TV show Parks and Rec. It was a ladies-only pregame party.
We did not think it was going to be Super Bowl Sunday, so this is sort of turning into a pre-Super Bowl game party, but basically it was just an opportunity for women to get together, just to celebrate female friendships and relationships and just have a good time. A lot of people don't have anybody to spend Valentine's Day with, and this is a very good way for people to get together and have fun.
The event was open to all area women ages 18 and older. Well, that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather here in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, it was the most anticipated sports game in the 4 states. We'll take you into a deeper look at how the Chiefs won Super Bowl 57. Plus, on the topic of the Super Bowl, a new trailer released during commercials on the game showed a new trailer for the upcoming The Flash movie. And do you love strawberries? Well, if you do, we've got some good news for you. They may help with your heart health. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. Be right back. Well, last night was the night we've all been waiting for the last 2 weeks. The Kansas City Chiefs facing the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 57, their third appearance in the Super Bowl in the last 4 seasons. The Chiefs aiming for their third Super Bowl title in franchise history and second under Andy Reid. In the first quarter, Chiefs down 7. Patrick Mahomes finds his guy, Travis Kelce, down the right side. 18-yard touchdown connection. Ties the game up at 7. Second quarter, Kansas City back down by a touchdown, but they get a play on defense. Nick Bolton, the Mizzou product, scoops up the fumble and returns it all the way for the touchdown. Just like that, we're tied up again. Before the half, Jalen Hurts doing what he does for Philly. Easy walk-in for the 4-yard score. Eagles go to the break up 24-14. So we get to the second half. The Chiefs get the ball first. They go straight down the field. Isaiah Pacheco in for the 1-yard score. Kansas City now within 3. Early fourth, Chiefs go in front. Kadarius Toney very wide open for the 5-yard touchdown from Mahomes. Kansas City has their first lead, 28-27. After a big punt return from Toney, doesn't get easier than this. Mahomes to Sky Moore. Chiefs get the lead to 8. Eagles tie it back up at 35. But in the final seconds, Harrison Butker finishes it off. 27-yard field goal. And that's it. The Chiefs win a shootout, 38-35. Their second championship in the last 4 years.
It's the greatest feeling in the world. Being on top of the mountain, being here with the guys that we did it with the coaches we did it with, through all the adversity. There's nothing I can say that can really explain how I'm feeling right now. Being at the top with my brothers and my teammates is it's the best feeling in the world.
Can't describe it, man. We talked about it earlier in the week, man. Guys who had an opportunity to win them, and man, it's special, man. And there's not. a single type of emotion that kind of can explain it, man. And I'm just proud of our team, man, finding a way to stick to it.
Well, still to come, a Japanese zoo dives into a mystery of how a female gibbon gives birth despite living alone for 2 years. Plus, we got another check of your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Got a pretty decent day shaping up for us, even though we're off to a cold start. MoDOT camera, 32nd in range line, looking good so far. Same at 7th in range line. Clear skies, 36, feels like 29 with a west-northwest breeze at about 9 miles an hour. Chilly temperatures around the region. We're 31 Iola Yates Center, 33 Fort Scott, 34 Pittsburgh, 39 Miami, 37 Neosho, and 36 in Lamar and Carthage this morning. As we get our day started, well, it was mostly clear skies, so just plain old sunny skies, and that will allow temperatures to warm up to 48 by 11 this morning. We are heading for highs the upper 50s to near 60 today, and we'll have plentiful sunshine through the majority of the day. As you see, though, at 4 o'clock, some partly cloudy skies. That's ahead of increasing clouds as we head into the evening, ahead of some rain chances. Down to 47 for our low. Cloudy through the evening, and then we'll have some light rain start moving in, say, around 11 o'clock tonight, which we can see when we take a look at the future track. As the clouds increase, here comes some of those rain showers, and they will be an almost all-day rain event as we head into tomorrow. Maybe even a few thunderstorms. At this point, no severe weather is expected. That should stay off to our southeast, but we could see a stray thunderstorm or two, and that could lead to some locally higher amounts of rain compared to what the precipitation tracker shows here, which is anticipating anywhere from a ½ inch to upwards of 3/4 of an inch of rain across the region. I do that every single time. All right, let's talk ahead. 56 tomorrow. We got the scattered thunderstorms throughout the majority of our Valentine's Day. So as we mentioned last week, plan your stuff inside. 65 on Wednesday, and then a 40-degree temperature drop with a little wave that's going to come in and put us back into winter. 25 for the overnight low. A light wintry mix late Wednesday into early Thursday morning, mainly in our northwestern counties. 35 on Thursday, down to 18. 39 Friday. And as we head into this upcoming weekend, yeah, we're cloudy, maybe even some showers, but temperatures warm back up. Look further down the road, another little roller coaster ride here as we head to spring-like weather to start the week with some rain, and then we get cold again by the middle of next week with some wintry weather possible as we head into Wednesday, and a high of only 35. So I hope you are prepared to ride this big roller coaster, as we've got some big ups and some big downs in the temperatures over the next several days. Well, movie news now to start your week, from the latest look at a film with multiple superheroes to the return of a Hollywood classic. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
Time has a pattern that it can't help reliving. Different people, different worlds, drawn to each other like magnets. It's my face. So my face.
Ezra Miller has double trouble in the first full trailer for The Flash. When the high-speed hero travels to the past, he messes up the future, creating not only two of himself, but jumping Batman timelines, going from Ben Affleck all the way back to Michael Keaton.
Yeah. I'm Batman.
We also get General Zod and a glimpse of Supergirl. The Flash zips into theaters June 16th.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
One of the most acclaimed films of all time is returning to theaters. A restored and remastered copy of Casablanca, which won Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Screenplay Oscars, will screen in participating cinemas on Sunday, March 5th and Wednesday, March 8th. Check fathomevents.com for locations and tickets.
He's looking at you, kid.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Now, with all that talk of superheroes, that brings us to our question for you this morning. Who's your favorite? A few options here for you. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, or perhaps somebody else? Well, we want to hear from you. Make sure you vote through our website at koamnewsnow.com/vote. You can also vote through the KOAM News Now app, and of course, take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. We are back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, a new groundbreaking study has found the wealthiest mothers and their newborns are the most likely to survive the year after childbirth, except when the mother and child are Black. The research took a look at 2 million births in California. It found the richest Black mothers and their new babies are twice as likely to die as the richest white mothers and their babies. In the past, studies have repeatedly shown Black mothers and their babies have the worst childbirth outcomes in the country. The researchers say this study is novel because it's the first of its size to show how the risk of childbirth vary by both race and parental income. It shows Black families have disproportionately negative outcomes regardless of their socioeconomic status. For many of us, stress is something that's all too familiar, and doctors say it takes a toll on us in many different ways, harming both our physical and mental health. They say stress can accelerate aging and cause inflammation, which makes us more vulnerable to chronic diseases. And when stress is not addressed, it can lead to anxiety and depression. While some of us turn to drugs and alcohol to deal with stress, experts say we would be a lot better off by eating a healthy diet, exercising often, and getting enough sleep. Meditation is also helpful, even if it's as simple as taking a few deep breaths. Health professionals say if stress starts to prevent you from performing everyday tasks, be sure to get professional help. Baby talk is not just child's play. It could help spot autism years before symptoms begin. Studies have shown talking with emotional and exaggerated tones, dubbed motherese, stimulates a child's attention to help develop language skills and emotional reactivity. Now, a new study has found it could be a key marker to identifying autism spectrum disorder in toddlers. Researchers studied over 650 toddlers aged 1 and 2 years old with and without autism, exposing them to 2 one-minute videos featuring a woman speaking motherese or abstract scenes. Their eyes controlled which one played. The other found the toddlers with ASD showed consistently high interest in the baby talk video, while the autistic children focused mostly on the abstract. Scientists say the eye tracking method opens the door for early diagnoses of autism. Well, new research suggests junk food might have some benefits for your health. Analysts in the UK studied the data from a mouse model called Trichuris murus, which is related to the human whipworm, and saw how it reacted to a high-fat diet and the effects it had on the immune system. Researchers found junk food helps the immune system get rid of parasites. However, they say it's not a green light to consume junk foods in excess, but it is a way of showing that even unhealthy meals can have some benefits for the health. Well, a quick walk may be key to lowering liver fat. A study by Penn State College of Medicine found that 150 minutes of moderate to intense aerobic activity per week, which breaks down to taking a brisk 22-minute walk each day, can significantly reduce liver fat. Exercise is important for helping people with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which the study says affects 30% of the global population. Over time, the disease can lead to liver scarring and even cancer. Study participants who did the optimal dose of exercise saw a significant improvement in their liver fat compared to those who were prescribed less exercise. So be sure to move your feet. And a recent study finds strawberries might help with your heart health. Researchers from the Global Burden of Disease suggest that eating as little as 2 cups of strawberries a day can improve your well-being. The study used data from 33 obese adults and found that consuming strawberries daily helped their insulin resistance. Analysts say strawberries can help decrease cholesterol, blood sugar, and even lower inflammation. The study also showed a low fruit diet is a risk factor for illnesses like diabetes and cardiovascular disease. A new study suggests marriage can actually help lower blood sugar levels. For the study, researchers studied the data of more than 3,300 people, ages 50 to 89, living in England. The participants were not diabetic. They were asked questions about how they get along in their relationships and had their blood samples taken. Researchers found a 0.21% decrease in blood sugar levels among committed couples compared to single people. Researchers say the findings would translate into 25% fewer deaths related to high blood sugar levels in the general population. Let's look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Yeah, we are watching some cold temperatures across the region as we start our day. However, we've got an absolutely gorgeous Monday lined up for us. Before we see a few changes down the road, we're going to break down your full forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Right now at 5:30, citizens at Carterville gathered together to help restore a historic gym and community center.
We've got clear skies to start our day and cold weather too, but we've got warmer temperatures on the way and some rain chances. We're going to talk about all that coming up.
And students from K-State University help collect local input from Joplin residents on what to do about the historic Union Depot.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So, boy, that was one heck of a game last night. We've been talking about it this morning. We'll have more on it, of course, throughout the morning. And we've got one heck of a forecast. If you happen to be ill today and are staying home, or even if you have to work, it's not too bad. MoDOT camera, 30-second in range line, looks pretty good. We do have a chilly start for us, though. 36 in Joplin, clear skies, feels like 29 with a west-northwest breeze at about 9 miles an hour. Again, it's a cold start for us. 31 in Yates Center, 30 Iola, 35 Chatopa, 37 Miami, 36 Neosho and Carthage this morning. As we get our day underway, we're going to start to gradually warm up. We'll see plentiful sunshine. We'll make it up into the upper 40s by about 11 o'clock today, heading for highs in the upper 50s to near 60. Mostly sunny skies throughout the afternoon hours. We'll start to turn partly cloudy later today and then be just plain old cloudy as we head into the evening hours tonight. Down to 47 by 10. 47 is our overnight low. We'll see some scattered showers across the region start moving in by about 11. And that'll translate into some possible thunderstorm chances as we head into Tuesday. Now, the good news is at this time, no severe weather is expected, but could see some locally heavier amounts of rain with those storms. Those will clear out late Tuesday. We're talking like 6, 7 o'clock at night. Down to 41, up to 65 Wednesday. Another system coming in drops our temperatures about 40 degrees. Down to 25 Wednesday night, and that could lead to some light flurries, maybe some light snow, mainly in our northwestern counties, but still something to keep an eye on. Only 35 Thursday, 18 Thursday night, 39 Friday. And then we start to warm up heading into the weekend and the start of next week, back into the 50s and even the possibly the lower 60s. Then we see more rain chances Monday and Tuesday of next week, and the Tuesday system kicks us back into winter mode as we drop down to 30 Tuesday night, up to 35 next Wednesday, with a wintry mix possible as well. So it's been a while since we've talked about it, but we are back on one heck of a roller coaster ride with our temperatures. We're going to be going from spring to winter over the next several days across the 4 states. So buckle up and get ready for the ride.
Yeah, some of those nights are pretty chilly.
Yeah, we got some cold nights ahead of us, and then some mild nights too. So it's going to be an interesting ride.
Will we have the wind today with the 60 degrees?
The good news is, no, today's looking pretty decent in terms of the winds. I was double checking on that, and we're looking all right.
All right, that sounds good. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Southeast Kansas organization has announced plans to create a new state park. Iola Industries recently donated $2 million worth of property around Lehigh-Portland Trails and Iola Lake to the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. On Friday, the organization announced plans to turn it into the Lehigh-Portland State Park. Joplin Public Library hosted its annual community-focused Black History Fair. The fair featured a special presentation from the Alexander Madison chapter of the Kansas City Buffalo Soldiers. The presentation detailed the evolution of African American soldiers from the Civil War to their influence in World War II and the Korean War. Attendees were also able to visit interactive displays and booths.
Really, it's the community organizations that we partner with, their willingness to come every year and to create great informational booths. As I said before, we couldn't do it without them. I'm sure there are other events we could have, but I think the important part of this event is that it represents our community and the fact that community members are a part of it.
The fair was free to the public. Carterville citizens gathered to restore the historic Carterville Gym and Community Center. Volunteers painted and repaired windows, ceilings, and lighting. Volunteers sourced material donations from vendors, so the repairs were at no cost to taxpayers. Work began to remodel the lobby, hallway, and community room in November.
I'm just so excited. So many people have come. You know, there's a lot of people that talk about wanting to help the community, but there are only few that will come and really work. And so I'm so excited to see so many people come out that love this building and this community. I think that's the best part of it.
The gym was originally built in 1954 for Carterville High School. Joplin residents made their voices heard about a historic building. Students from Kansas State University collected local input on the future of the Union Depot. Residents were asked to provide ideas on how the historic building could be used to best serve Joplin's needs. Students will take the input and organize it into a presentable document for future use.
Getting the community's input on a project like this is really neat because it means that the community's going to buy into whatever ends up there. You know, they're going to attend what's there because they wanted it. They're going to be part of making whatever that initiative is successful. But kind of the big question is, like, what should it be? You know, it's a very unique building in a unique location, and so the community is here tonight kind of giving us some input on that.
The depot was listed on the National Register of Historic Places as a significant building in 1973. Well, this morning we're discussing superheroes.
Ezra Miller has double trouble in the first full trailer for The Flash. When the high-speed hero travels to the past, he messes up the future, creating not only two of himself, but jumping Batman timelines, going from Ben Affleck all the way back to Michael Keaton.
We also get General Zod and a glimpse of Supergirl. And if you're interested in seeing The Flash, it zips into theaters in June.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. Who's your favorite superhero? You've got a number of options. So far, 38% of you are selecting somebody not on our list. 26% of you like Superman, and 12% going to Thor, Wonder Woman, and Iron Man. So make sure you vote through our website, through the app, and of course take part in the discussion on our Facebook page.
Is your favorite one on there?
Yes, it is. And my favorite one right now has 0 votes, so I may have to vote.
Oh yeah, well mine is Wonder Woman.
So,
yeah.
Well, of course.
Just makes sense, right?
I guess so.
All right, thanks, Chris. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News. Have you ever wanted to name a baby giraffe? Now may be your chance, as the Sacramento Zoo is hosting a public auction to name its newest giraffe.
Plus, an endangered lemur known as the dancing lemur is born at a UK zoo. We'll have the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, dozens were injured after a bus flipped over in Germany Friday night. Police say a coach bus en route from Poland was carrying over 50 passengers when it overturned. Emergency crews coming to the rescue at the scene in the city of Magdeburg in northern Germany. The incident seriously hurt 6 people. 29 others suffered minor injuries. No one has been reported dead. A local police spokesperson says the cause of the accident is still unclear and it is still under investigation. The Israeli military says on Saturday Palestinian militants fired a rocket from the Gaza Strip that was intercepted by Israeli aerial defenses. The rocket set off warning sirens in communities across southern Israel. Video captured by a surveillance camera on Israel's border with Gaza shows the moment Israel's anti-missile system intercepted the rocket. Hostilities in the region have increased since Israel stepped up its raids in the occupied West Bank last spring. Now, the action followed a series of deadly Palestinian attacks inside Israel. And the United States has blacklisted 5 Chinese companies and 1 research institute that are believed to be linked to Beijing's aerospace programs. The U.S. is retaliating against China for sending an alleged spy balloon to float over parts of the United States. The balloon was shot down last Saturday, a week ago Saturday, and divers from the U.S. Navy have been collecting its debris for examination. The economic restrictions that were announced on Friday followed the Biden administration's pledge to consider broader efforts to address Chinese surveillance activities. They will make it more difficult for the 6 Chinese entities to obtain American technology exports. The move is expected to cause more tension between the United States and China. Now, China has said the airship was in the sky to monitor the weather. Russia announces it will be cutting crude oil production by 500,000 barrels per day starting next month. The cutback is equivalent to about 5% of Russia's oil output. The move will come around 2 months after the countries with the world's biggest economic imposed a price cap on Russia's oil exports to punish the superpower for its invasion of Ukraine. Russian leaders say their country will not sell oil to nations that have directly or indirectly adhered to the price ceiling. The drop in the supply of Russian oil is expected to translate into more competition for oil from other sources, such as the Middle East. And there's concern this might eventually lead to an oil shortage. One of the world's rarest primates, a lemur, is born at a zoo in the UK. The endangered cockerel Safaka is known as the dancing lemur because of the special way in which it moves. The baby weighed 4 ounces when it was born last December at the zoo in Chester, England. Zookeepers say they will have to wait to determine its sex until the lemur stops clinging to its mother's belly and explores alone. Parents Beatrice and Elliot were moved to the zoo in northwest England from the U.S. as part of a breeding program. It's the first time a baby from this critically endangered species of lemur has been born in Europe. In Japan, a gibbon, which had been alone in her cage for 2 years in a zoo in Nagasaki, gave birth to a baby. Now, this is according to a statement by the zoo last Monday. Following a DNA probe into Momo's child, it was discovered the father was actually a 34-year-old agile gibbon named Ito. The baby is also male. The zoo said they will keep both mother and son together in the same space for both, quote, living and exhibition purposes. Citing a zoo superintendent, Vice World News reported that Momo probably got pregnant through a perforated board that was meant to prevent the apes from mating. Interesting. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we got a pretty chilly start for us this morning, but things are going to improve as we head through the day. Right now, MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line. We're looking good out there. We got clear skies, although it is a bit cold. Same at 7th and range line, of course. 36 in Joplin, feeling like 29 with a west-northwest breeze at about 9 miles an hour. As we take a look at temperatures across the region, we're at 30 in Iola, 32 Parsons, 37 Miami, 36 Neosho Carthage, and up to 34 in Lamar. Now, as we start our day, it's going to get a lot better. We'll have plentiful sunshine that will allow temperatures to warm. We'll be up to 48 by 11 o'clock this morning, so not a bad start to the day. We've got highs today pushing into the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. Some of us might even break into the lower 60s today. Well, again, plentiful sunshine through the day, 52 by noon, 58 at 2, and 60 by 4. By 4, though, we start to switch to partly cloudy skies, and then as we head into the evening, we'll have cloudy skies, 52 by 6, and we'll just kind of settle at 47, and that will be our overnight low with showers moving in late tonight. So let's take a look at that on the future track. Now, again, as we go through today, we'll see those clouds increase this evening. And then as we head late into the overnight hours and early morning, we've got the rain showers starting to build in out there. And then that could translate in to a few thunderstorms across the area. No severe weather is expected at this time, but some heavy rainfall possible with some of those storms. And unfortunately, I know tomorrow's Valentine's Day, but we warned you last week to plan everything indoors because this is going to be a nearly all-day event. This is 5 o'clock by tomorrow. Still widespread showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. By overnight, though, that will begin to clear out. And then as we head into the middle of the week, we get really warm. Check out these highs, and then we start to see the possibility of some light showers, maybe a light wintry mix in our northwestern counties, and temperatures will begin to plummet. So let's take a look at what precipitation tracker's thinking here. We're looking anywhere from a ½ inch up to maybe even 3/4 of an inch of rain out of this. And again, some locally heavier amounts are possible if we see any thunderstorms. All right, so here we go. 56 tomorrow for that high. Those scattered thunderstorms down to 41. 65 Wednesday. Wednesday, with that system coming in late Wednesday, it's going to drop our temperatures about 40 degrees down to 25 Wednesday night. Light wintry mix possible, again, mainly in our northwestern counties. Only 35 Thursday, down to 18. There's cold nights ahead of us. 39 by Friday. 24 for the low. Then, as we head into the weekend, we've got the increasing clouds. We even have some shower chances, but as you can see, temperatures begin to warm up again, and they continue to do so through the first part of next week. So we're up to 61 Monday, maybe some rain, more rain possible on Tuesday, and that system's going to kick us back into winter mode as we go from 57 down to 30, and we only make it up to 35 by next Wednesday with the possibility of a wintry mix across the area. So get ready for this roller coaster ride as we're going to go up and down and up and down. We're going to get to experience spring and winter all within the next few days. We're back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A car crash in Lawrence County takes the life of an Aurora, Missouri man. On Saturday, about 3:50 in the afternoon, a 2007 Chrysler 300 driven by Paul Sheridan of Aurora, Missouri, ran off the left side of Farm Road 2212 and struck a gate and the corner post of a fence. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. Joplin police are searching for a person of interest in a shooting investigation from last week. The shooting happened last Tuesday at 9th and Monroe in the Fairview neighborhood. The man was taken to the hospital with a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. Police are now trying to find 34-year-old Adam Kassler of Joplin. Kassler has active felony warrants out of Newton County and the city of Joplin for failure to appear. Authorities say Kassler should be considered armed and dangerous. And the Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce is giving residents a chance to get to know local businesses. The annual Pittsburgh Business Expo kicked off Friday with the theme Hollywood Walk of Fame. Businesses could showcase their products and services to members of the community. It was also a learning opportunity for some students. And the Missouri Department of Conservation holds an event to teach the public how to build bluebird boxes. People who want to learn more about bluebirds and help provide nesting habitats for them should plan to attend the Bluebird Basics Workshop on February 18th at the MDC's Shoal Creek Conservation Education Center in Joplin. The event is free to the public and runs from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Each family will construct and take one bluebird box home. Boards will be provided, but participants will need to bring an electric screwdriver or drill with a Phillips head drill bit. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Have you ever wanted to name a giraffe at the zoo? Well, she's 2 weeks old and is very adorable. The Sacramento Zoo is giving the public a chance to name her. Curtis Ming has more on this online public auction.
It's hard to believe this baby giraffe was born just 2 weeks ago. Her jagged spots indicate she's a Maasai, which is one of the largest subspecies of her kind. Today, our crew was invited to go inside the giraffe barn to meet the 2-week-old calf and her very protective mother, Shawnee. Her caretaker tells us the baby calf is healthy and nursing with mom, but she won't be coming outside anytime soon.
It's kind of an odd time of the year to have a giraffe calf. It is winter time and they are a warm weather species. So we probably won't be letting that giraffe calf out for quite a while till it warms up.
And while the public is eager to see her out and about, she doesn't have a name just yet, like her older sister Glory, who's now 2 years old. The Sacramento Zoo is hosting an online public auction for a chance to give her a name.
The baby's name will be auctioned off. We're doing a meet and greet chance. If you donate more than $10, you'll get entered into a raffle to a chance to meet our baby calf.
The bidding has started. The online auction runs through the end of the month. People must register on the zoo's website to make their bids. But some very excited kids we spoke with have already decided on what to call her.
I would name her Stella.
You name her Stella? That's a good name.
Well, just as a reminder, if you want to bid on the baby giraffe's name, you have to register on the Sacramento Zoo's website and place the bid before the end of the month. Stella wouldn't be a bad name at all. We'll be right back after the break. While many people watched the Super Bowl on Sunday, another big game also took place. The 19th annual Puppy Bowl kicked off on Sunday as well, and this one was historic. For the first time ever, the contest went into overtime. Now, the game was knotted at 80, all at the end of regulation. Now, Team Rough had trailed Team Fluff for most of the game, but tied it up in the fourth quarter, and when the final whistle blew, Team Fluff hoisted the Lombardi Trophy with an 87-83 victory. This year's event featured 122 puppies selected from 67 animal shelters and rescue centers across the country. For the first time ever, a Native American animal organization and a canine contestant from the West Indies participated. The Puppy Bowl first debuted in 2005 and is held each year to raise awareness about animal adoption. Cuteness alert for sure. Check out this cuteness. Zoo Miami is sharing these photos of its newest arrivals, 3 newborn otters. Zoo Miami says the North American river otter pups all appear healthy, and their mom, Zinnia, is taking good care of them. They include 1 female and 2 males, and they're as tiny as they are adorable. They weigh about 150 grams. Here, they're undergoing neonatal exams, and Zoo Miami says Zinnia and her babies will remain behind the scenes for now while the family bonds. The zoo says North American river otters can survive in the wild about 10 years. Under human care, they can live twice that long.
We've got an absolutely beautiful day for us today. As we get our day started, we'll have mostly clear skies, sunny skies out there, and with plentiful sunshine. Even though we're cold to start, we will warm up. We're going to make it up to 48 by 11 o'clock. We're looking at highs today, pushing the upper 50s, near 60. A few of us might even squeak into the lower 60s. Again, abundant sunshine out there, gorgeous day, up to 60 by 4, partly cloudy by then, and we'll just be plain old cloudy as we head through the evening hours. We'll drop to 47 and just kind of sit there, and that's our overnight low as we see some showers start to move in late tonight, say about 11 o'clock or so. And that'll translate into some scattered thunderstorms for our Valentine's Day, and that's going to be an almost all-day event, so do be prepared to make indoor plans for Valentine's Day. 56, 65 Wednesday, and then late Wednesday night, a system comes in, drops our temps 40 degrees down to 25, only 35 Thursday. A light wintry mix possible in our northwest counties. Still cold Friday, and then we'll start to warm up heading into the weekend. And although we will be mostly cloudy, we'll see much warmer temperatures. We're back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 6, party in the kingdom as the Kansas City Chiefs take home the title of Super Bowl 57 champions. And Patrick Mahomes takes home the title of MVP for the second time in his career.
And we've got an absolutely beautiful day lined up for us if you happen to be sick from yesterday. We'll talk about today's forecast and some changes on the way coming up.
And Academy Sports in Joplin opens its doors after the game to give Chiefs fans a place to celebrate and offer some championship gear.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Tanya Buck.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 6 o'clock on this Monday morning. Some of you may be ill today, and honestly, it's a pretty good day to be at home because it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous Monday. However, we do now have this to pass along to you, a wind advisory that kicks in tomorrow morning and runs until 3 Wednesday morning for the majority of the area, and that's because tomorrow we could see winds up to 30 to 40 miles an hour with gusts pushing 50 to 55 miles an hour. The good news is for today at least, that's not going to be the case. We got a pretty good start to the day from the MoDOT camera there. We're at 33 in Joplin, feeling like 28 with a west-northwest breeze at about 6 miles an hour. Across the area, again, it's a little bit chilly. 30 Iola Yates Center, 29 Neodesha, 35 Miami, and 37 in Neosho as we start our day. And as we get through the morning, we're going to start to warm up. We'll have plentiful sunshine up to 48 by 11 this morning, so a beautiful day out there. And we're looking at mostly clear skies for the majority of today and into the afternoon. Highs pushing the upper 50s, near 60, and a few of us could even squeak into the lower 60s later today. However, this evening, clouds increase. We will be cloudy, and we'll just kind of set at 47 this evening. That'll be our overnight low, and we'll start to see showers move into the area late tonight into tomorrow. So in addition to the wind that's not associated with this activity, we could see a few scattered thunderstorms tomorrow. Now at this time, we're not anticipating any severe weather for tomorrow, but a few thunderstorms possible, some heavier rain out there. So plan your Valentine's Day indoors. 56 for the high, 65 Wednesday, and then check this out, a 40-degree temperature drop as we head into Wednesday night down to 25. And we could see a light wintry mix, especially in our northwestern counties. So we'll keep an eye on that, up to 35 Thursday, down to 18 Thursday night. Still cold Friday and Friday night. And as we head into the weekend, we've got those cloudy skies. We do have some shower chances, but temperatures warm up. And they'll stay spring-like through at least Tuesday of next week. But we'll see more rain chances building in Monday and Tuesday. And then Tuesday's system knocks us back down to 30 by Tuesday night. Only 35 next Wednesday. We could see a wintry mix, so we've got one heck of a roller coaster ride for these temperatures. We will get to experience spring and winter off and on over the next several days here in the 4 states. So just get ready. Keep your shorts handy, keep your coat handy all at the same time.
That's right. Be ready, that's for sure.
You got to be prepared.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Super Bowl 57 gave little margin for error in the battle between two of the NFL's most spectacular teams, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. In the end, Kansas City rose to victory 38-35. And CBS News correspondent Danya Bacchus is in Glendale, Arizona with the highlights. and a look at the dazzling halftime show.
Quarterback heroics ruled the game in one of the highest scoring Super Bowls of all time. The Philadelphia Eagles and their quarterback Jalen Hurts got off to a running start with a first quarter touchdown. Moments later, the Kansas City Chiefs, led by quarterback Patrick Mahomes, answered with a TD of their own. Hurts and Mahomes together made history by starring in the first Super Bowl featuring two black starting quarterbacks. Early in the second quarter, the Eagles retook the lead. Hurts threw a 45-yard scoring pass to star receiver A.J. Brown. But the Chiefs battled back. Nick Bolton's touchdown after a fumble by Hurts tied it up until Philadelphia moved ahead yet again. Undaunted and rested from the halftime break, KC jumped back into action in the second half with one touchdown, then another. The seesaw battle ensued until Kansas City closed the game out with a winning field goal just seconds left on the clock to become the Super Bowl 57 champions. One star of the Super Bowl didn't play in the game. Rihanna's halftime show was her first live performance in 7 years. Rihanna packed 17 years of hits into 13 minutes and shocked fans by showing off her baby bump. Danya Backus, CBS News, Glendale, Arizona.
Patrick Mahomes became the first player to take home Associated Press NFL MVP and Super Bowl MVP in the same season this century. Congrats to him. Well, needless to say, the party didn't stop for Chiefs fans after the game. Many fans made their way to Academy Sports in Joplin, which opened its doors after the win, so fans could buy Super Bowl champs gear. It was a roller coaster of emotion for some, but the victory was even sweeter with some brand new championship merchandise.
Man, I felt a lot better about this one than the AFC Championship game. We were in it, and it was exciting, and we came back to get our fresh apparel.
KOAM Shannon Becker was at Academy Sports last night and spoke to the manager, who said they would stay open as long as fans were showing up. Well, Carterville citizens gathered to restore the historic Carterville Gym and Community Center. Volunteers painted and repaired windows, ceilings, and lighting. Volunteers sourced material donations from vendors, so the repairs were at no cost to taxpayers. And work began to remodel the lobby, hallway, and community room in November.
Yeah, to me, it just warms my heart that my vision, I guess if you want to call it anything, from years past is, towns just don't grow and improve themselves. Caring people grow and improve their towns. That's on the back of my business card as mayor, and I had that thought before I even intended to run for mayor. So.
The gym was originally built in 1954 for Carterville High School. Well, Joplin residents made their voices heard about a historic building. Students from Kansas State University collected local input on the future of the Union Depot. Residents were asked to provide ideas on how the historic building could be used to best serve Joplin's needs. Students will take the input and organize it into a presentable document for future use.
Getting the community's input on a project like this is really neat because it means that the community's going to buy into whatever ends up there. They're going to attend what's there because they wanted it. They're going to be part of making whatever that initiative is successful. But kind of the big question is, like, what should it be? It's a very unique building in a unique location, and so the community is here tonight kind of giving us some input on that.
The depot was listed on the National Register of Historic Places as a significant building in 1973. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the science behind the sweetness of chocolate.
We know it tastes good. I'm Ian Lee with new research revealing why chocolate is so irresistible.
Plus, there's a new Cold War taking place above the skies of North America as the U.S. military shoots down 4 objects in 8 days. We'll have the latest. And Chris has another look at your Monday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, questions are growing about what is happening in the skies above North America. In the last 8 days, 4 flying objects have been shot down by the U.S. military. While one is suspected to have been spying on military sites, officials have not said what the others may be. Jared Hill has more.
The U.S. military shot down yet another unidentified flying object Sunday. That marks a total of 4 takedowns, starting with the Chinese spy balloon that was destroyed over a week ago off the coast of South Carolina.
What's gone on the last, 2 weeks or so, 10 days, has been nothing short of craziness.
The latest above the Great Lakes region in Michigan. The Pentagon says it's likely the same object that caused airspace over Montana to be shut down on Saturday. That's also when Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau asked the U.S. to shoot a different unidentified object out of the sky. That one above the Yukon.
It represented a reasonable threat to civilian aircraft, so I gave the order to take it down.
In Alaska, Friday, the U.S. took down an object that's said to be the size of a small bus.
In the past, the U.S. just hasn't paid much attention to those balloons. But this Chinese balloon was a game changer.
That one suspected of spying over nuclear sites, taken down last weekend. But officials aren't sure, or aren't saying, where the others came from or what they were doing. A Department of Defense official says they've been more closely scrutinizing U.S. airspace in recent weeks, which might explain the increase in activity. Meanwhile, on Capitol Hill, lawmakers are considering tougher regulations to stop U.S. technology from getting in the hands of the Chinese military. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Again, U.S. officials are still trying to identify the 3 most recent objects brought down from the sky. They say those were much smaller. They look different and flew at lower altitudes than the suspected Chinese spy balloon, shot down a little more than a week ago. That's a look at one of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got some wind advisories that go into effect tomorrow early morning for the majority of the area, and they'll run through at least 3 o'clock on Wednesday morning. We're going to talk about how gusty the winds are going to get tomorrow, as well as tomorrow's storm chances when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:15, time for a little weather trivia for you. And these particular clouds here are known as noctilucent clouds. What we want to know is at what time of day are they visible? Is it at night, by noon, at dawn, or are they visible anytime? Well, you think about that. Let's take a look at our forecast, and we want to start with a look at this wind advisory. This came down. It goes into effect officially about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning for nearly every county in our area and runs through at least 3 a.m. on Wednesday morning. We'll talk about these winds here in just a moment. First, live look at the MoDOT camera, 32nd and Range Line. It's looking pretty good out there so far. And same at 7th and Range Line. Not bad, albeit cold. 33 in Joplin. Clear skies. Feels like 28 with a west-northwest breeze at 6 miles an hour. Temperatures across the region look like this: 30 Iola Yates Center, 32 in Chanute, 29 Neodesha, 30 in Parsons, 32 Chetopa, 35 Miami, 37 Grove and Neosho, up to 41 in Anderson, 33 Carthage, Lamar, and Nevada as we start our Monday morning. And as we go through the rest of the morning, we will have abundant sunshine throughout the morning, and that will allow us to warm up quite nicely. And what's nice about today is usually if we have spring-like weather, we usually have super gusty winds. And while that's coming tomorrow, we should be okay for today, and we'll make it up to about 48 by 11 this morning. And as we look into the rest of the afternoon, highs pushing the upper 50s to near 60. Some of us could even get into the lower 60s potentially today. So very spring-like out there, not bad at all, and mostly clear skies. Now by 4, we start to see some partly cloudy skies, and those clouds will increase pretty quickly and will become cloudy as we go through the evening, and we'll hit about 47, and then we're just going to kind of hover there for a little bit. That will be our low, and we'll start to see some shower activity moving in late tonight, say around 11 o'clock or so. Let's take a look at all that, shall we? All right. Noon today, we're clear. As we head into the evening, there's those clouds, and they increase pretty quickly across the region. And as we head into late tonight and early tomorrow morning, you can see the showers starting to take over in the area. And by the time we head into tomorrow, we could even see a few scattered thunderstorms. Now, at this time, we're not anticipating any severe weather, and I say that simply because the severe threat is confined right now to our south and east, but it does come up pretty close to our region, so we'll keep an eye on that in case it changes. But right now, for us, any thunderstorms we see tomorrow should just be regular old thunderstorms. We go into Tuesday evening. You're going to want to plan your Valentine's Day indoors because even by 5 o'clock, still rain, showers, maybe a rumble of thunder or two out there. It won't be until late Tuesday night that we'll start to see that clear out. Then we'll get a little bit of a breakthrough Wednesday. As a matter of fact, as we go into Wednesday, we've got a very spring-like day ahead of us. However, look off to the northwest. There's already some winter storm watches for portions of western Kansas. Now, we shouldn't see the super heavy snow like they're going to see, and it should be confined to our northwestern counties. But as you see, as we head into late Wednesday and into early Thursday, there's some of that light snow, maybe a wintry mix in some of our northwestern counties, and that'll clear out of here by Thursday morning. And as we head into Friday, we clear out, but we are considerably colder than where we're going to be the next 2 or 3 days. In terms of rainfall, here's what we're looking at as this system rolls through. Anywhere from roughly a ½ inch up to 3/4 of an inch of rain across the region. And again, there could be some locally heavier amounts if we do see any thunderstorm activity across the region. And then there's the winds we want to talk about. And these are winds that are not associated with any possible thunderstorms. We're just talking wind gusts that are going to start picking up early tomorrow morning. Check some of these out. We start getting into that 30 to 40 mile an hour range. By the way, sustained winds are looking to be in that 30 to 40 mile an hour range. So as the gusts pick up, that's as we see those sustained winds pick up as well. As we head into Tuesday morning, that's when we really start to see stuff pick up as we get those gusts pushing 40, even upwards of 50, possibly even 55 miles an hour in some cases across the area. So an extraordinarily breezy day tomorrow on top of shower and thunderstorm activity that we could see. By the time we head into late Tuesday night, those winds will eventually start to calm down before we see some more potential wind gusts as we head into Wednesday. Now back to these guys, the noctilucent clouds. What time of day are they visible? Well, if you happen to select A, night, you would be correct. These rare clouds are formed high in the atmosphere from ice crystals, and they can travel at very impressive speeds, and they're typically visible late night because they'll start to reflect some sunlight off of them. All right, scattered thunderstorm chances tomorrow up to 56, 65 Wednesday, a 40-degree drop Wednesday to Wednesday night, down to 25, only 35 Thursday, down to 18, 39 Friday. But then as we head into the weekend, yeah, we've got some increasing clouds, we've got some shower chances, but temperatures begin to rebound back into the 50s. We're back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning for people infected with COVID-19, Paxlovid is proving to be a lifesaver. A study at the University of Colorado finds the antiviral remains highly effective on Omicron variants. Researchers tracked 28,000 patients with risk factors and found Paxlovid significantly reduced rates of hospitalization and death. Climate change has sparked an increase in wildfires, creating air pollution that could be dangerous for pregnant women. Researchers tracked more than 2 million births in California. They found being exposed to smoke from wildfires increases the risk of going into labor prematurely, and each additional day of exposure raises the odds of an early delivery. Children who visit emergency rooms for mental health treatment are continuing to suffer. A study in the journal Pediatrics finds more than a quarter of kids with issues including depression, anxiety, and self-harm return to the hospital within 6 months. Researchers say out of 28,000 young Medicaid patients, only about half received any outpatient follow-up within a month after a hospital visit. Well, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, and what better time to spoil yourself or that special someone than with chocolate. New research out of the UK sheds light on why we find it so seductive. Ian Lee reports.
Welcome to Mouse. My name is Aaron. I'll be your chocolatier for today.
Anthony and Trenna are massive chocoholics. The charm of chocolate lured them to this London cooking class.
That's what to love about chocolate. Different varieties, the different flavors you could get.
But chocolate's power of pleasure puzzled scientists at the University of Leeds in England.
We've been looking into the texture of the chocolates, lubrication or tactile sensation, rather than the taste.
That melt-in-the-mouth feeling led researchers to create an artificial tongue, which cracked the code, revealing it all comes down to the chocolate's fat.
Why is it nice on the tongue?
It makes it smooth, it makes it slippery, it reduces the resistance.
Scientists say that lubrication makes for a more enjoyable experience, And it doesn't come as a surprise to Chief Chocolatier Paul Stradling.
It's to do with that the fat, the cocoa butter that's in there, and it's actually the only natural fat in the world that melts at body temperature.
Researchers found that smooth sensation comes down to the location of the fat, not the amount.
If we put more fats on the top surface of the chocolates, then we wouldn't need much of a fat in the body of the chocolates.
And that got them wondering if you need fat at all.
So you replace the fats with the proteins to get the same texture.
Exactly, yes.
And that would be healthier?
It would be more nutritious for sure.
Letting people indulge their love of chocolate without the love handles. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
We don't want those love handles. Researchers are also experimenting to see if tweaking the placement of fat could improve other nutritional content of foods like ice cream, margarine, and cheese. I love me some cheese. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Yeah, we're watching some big changes coming our way in the forecast. Got a wind advisory, goes into effect tomorrow morning and runs through Wednesday early morning for nearly every county in the area, because we could see wind gusts heading into Tuesday from 40 to 50, maybe even upwards of 55 miles an hour. Now today, no wind to worry about, at least not right now. We're looking pretty good from the MoDOT camera at 32nd and range line. We're sitting under clear skies, 33. Feels like 28 with a west-northwest breeze at 6 in Joplin. Temperatures across the region look like this: 29 Iola, Neodesha, 30 Parsons, 35 Miami, 33 Neosho, Carthage, and Lamar as we start our Monday. And as we go through the rest of the morning, plentiful sunshine out there. Temperatures will warm up to about 48 degrees by 11. We're looking at highs pushing into the upper 50s rather, maybe even the lower 60s for some of us, with more than enough sunshine out there. Up to 60 by 4, partly cloudy skies, and that's ahead of cloudy skies as we go through the evening. Temperatures drop back to 47 and just kind of sit there. We'll start to see some showers moving in by about 11 o'clock tonight across the area, and that'll translate into some showers, maybe even some scattered thunderstorms for us on Tuesday. Right now, I'm not anticipating any severe weather on Tuesday, but we could have some heavier rainfall. 56, 65 by Wednesday, and we drop 40 degrees down to 25 Wednesday night. Could see a light wintry mix, maybe some light snow, mainly in our northwestern counties late Wednesday into early Thursday. 35 Thursday, only 18 Thursday night. Yeah, it's going to get cold. 39 on Friday. And then, even though we've got some increasing clouds and a few shower chances heading into the weekend, temperatures warm up back into the 50s, and they stay above normal for Monday and Tuesday of next week. More rain chances Monday and Tuesday. That system Tuesday knocks us down to 30 for the low, only 35 next Wednesday, with the possibility of a wintry mix. We got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 6:30, as the deadly scourge of fentanyl continues to take lives across the country, Kansas looks for a solution from a controversial source.
We've got a cold but clear start for us across the area today. We'll talk about some warmer temperatures and some changes on the way coming up.
And the Joplin Public Library hosts an event recognizing the contribution of African American soldiers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:31. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So it's a little bit on the cold side out there for our Monday, but it is going to get better. And then we've got some pretty big changes on the way. Let's talk about one of those big changes. As we head into tomorrow, we do have a wind advisory for the majority of our area that kicks in tomorrow morning and runs through at least Wednesday early morning. That's because we could see wind gusts tomorrow pushing upwards of 50, maybe even 55 miles an hour in some cases. Right now, MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line. We're looking pretty good. Same at 7th and range line. We got clear skies, 33, feels like 28. With a west-northwest breeze at about 6 miles an hour. Across the area, we've got 29 in Iola and Neodesha, 33 Pittsburgh, 35 Miami, Anderson, and 33 Neosho, Carthage, and Lamar. As we go through today, we'll have plentiful sunshine, and the winds will be calm for us today at least. Up to 48 by 11 o'clock. We're looking at highs in the upper 50s to near 60. A few of us could even get to the lower 60s with more than enough sunshine to go around for this Monday. However, as we head into this evening, clouds increase. We become cloudy and we hit 47 by about 8 and just hover there. And that's our low tonight. Showers begin moving in late tonight around 11 o'clock, and that'll translate into some scattered showers and thunderstorm chances heading into tomorrow. No severe weather expected right now, but some heavy rain possible. 56, 65 Wednesday, and then a 40-degree drop Wednesday into Wednesday night down to 25. A light wintry mix, maybe some light snow possible in our northwestern counties. 35 Thursday down to 18 Thursday night. 39 on Friday, and then as we head into the weekend, clouds increase. We could see some shower chances late Sunday, but temperatures also increase as well as our roller coaster ride takes us from spring to winter and back to spring again, all within the course of 7 days. So
I'd like to keep our lows above freezing. That would be nice.
it would be nice. Unfortunately, we got a few nights it's going to get chilly this week, but like I said, it's one heck of a roller coaster ride on these temperatures, especially with that 40-degree drop on Wednesday.
That's for sure. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, Kansas Governor Lord Kelly starts a discussion about whether fentanyl test strips should be decriminalized in the state. KOAM's Yana Tula talked with a Kansas sheriff and a pharmacist about the pros and cons of allowing them.
So currently fentanyl test strips are illegal in Kansas because it falls under our drug paraphernalia statute.
Kansas Governor Laura Kelly has stated, if legalized, fentanyl test strips could save lives. Cherokee County Sheriff David Cross says there are arguments on both sides. While people should never use illegal substances, the strips can alert users to the deadly opioid fentanyl.
Generally, we see drug trends on the east and west coast, and they eventually, merge into the middle of the country, and that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing an uptick in those types of cases. We're seeing an uptick in incidences where emergency responders are getting called to potential overdoses.
Pharmacy owner Brian Caswell says people are using drugs laced with fentanyl. It does not take much to be deadly.
It looks like a grain of salt or whatever. I mean, it is so small, and it's so easily to be able to be added into a drug regimen that you would never know it.
Caswell says it comes down to whether the strips are helping people continue using illicit drugs or if it actually saves lives.
Test strips just help us get through the day and make sure that we don't have any more unnecessary deaths with the use of fentanyl.
In Cherokee County, Yana Haudala, KOAM News.
Caswell recommends anyone on any opioid have a naloxone nasal spray ready to go in case of emergency. The Webb City JROTC rifle team competed in regional and National Army Service Championships, and Webb City had 4 of the 8 top shooters in the region, with Preston Burton placing first, Jonathan Tatum placing second, Yesa Walker in 4th, and Gabe Elder in 6th place. Webb City qualified 2 teams for the first time this year to compete in the top 50 Army JROTC teams in the nation.
So, I mean, discipline, focus, safety, concentration, all of that are things that are stressed for a rifle program like this, and they do put in the work.
Webb City qualified 2 teams for the first time this year to compete in the top 50 Army JROTC teams, like I said, in the nation. Joplin Public Library hosted its annual community-focused Black History Fair. The fair featured a special presentation from the Alexander Madison chapter of the Kansas City Buffalo Soldiers. Presentation detailed the evolution of African American soldiers from the Civil War to their influence in World War II and the Korean War.
We kind of acknowledged that, there are, as the library, what we do is share resources with people. And so a great resource is these community organizations. They're doing really important work in the Black community in Joplin. And so as the library, we want to highlight that and introduce people who may not know about them. We want to introduce people to them.
The fair was free to the public. Well, Southeast Kansas organization announces plans to create a new state park. Iola Industries recently donated $2 million worth of property around Lehigh Portland Trails and Iola Lake to the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. On Friday, the organization announced plans to turn it into the Lehigh Portland State Park. Well, this morning we're discussing superheroes.
Ezra Miller has double trouble in the first full trailer for The Flash. When the high-speed hero travels to the past, he messes up the future, creating not only 2 of himself, but jumping Batman timelines, going from Ben Affleck all the way back to Michael Keaton.
I tell you not to mess up that timeline. We also get General Zod and a glimpse of Supergirl. And if you're interested in seeing The Flash, it zips into theaters in June.
That brings us to our question for you this morning. Who is your favorite superhero? So far, 28% of you still saying someone other than what's on our list. You got 23% for Batman, 11% for Thor and Wonder Woman, 17% for Superman, and 5% for Black Widow and Iron Man. So make sure you take time to vote through our website, through the app. Share your favorite superhero and maybe even why on our Facebook page.
No, we don't have Spider-Man on there.
We do not, and that may be some of what's fallen into the other category there.
And we don't have the Flash either. There you go.
We don't. So you've got plenty of choices, plus other, if yours isn't on that list.
All right, that's a look at our top stories, top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News, the Super Bowl kicks off a new record for online betting. We'll have the details.
And we've got the potential for some very gusty winds and some rain tomorrow. We'll break down your full forecast coming up.
In Consumer Watch this morning, it was a big night for the Kansas City Chiefs and also sports betting. The American Gaming Association predicted a record 50 million Americans would place $16 billion in wagers on last night's big game. That's more than double last year's estimates. Well, the Internal Revenue Service says taxpayers in more than 20 states who received tax rebates last year will not need to report them on their 2022 tax returns. The states had authorized the rebates to help residents offset inflation and the cost of the pandemic. The IRS had asked those who received the rebates to hold off on filing while they considered whether those payments would be taxable income. 2022 tax returns are due by April 18th this year. And the U.S. Mint announces the 5 honorees for its 2024 American Women Quarters program. They are writer and activist Polly Murray, Patsy Takemoto Mink, the first woman of color to serve in Congress, and Civil War era surgeon and abolitionist Dr. Mary Edwards Walker. Legendary Cuban-American singer Celia Cruz and writer, composer, and political activist Zikala Shah, or Redbird. Just last week, the Mint rolled out quarters for its first 2023 honoree, pioneering pilot Bessie Coleman. Valentine's Day is fast approaching, and it's probably no surprise it's one of the most popular times of the year for the diamond industry. But many gift shoppers are now choosing diamonds made in a lab rather than natural ones. The lab-grown diamond sales are projected to reach nearly $50 billion by 2030. Nancy Chen takes a look at this gemstone alternative.
When Eric Nelson proposed to Brittany Drygas, the hardest material on earth had become a little easier to buy.
Did you always want to seek out a lab-grown diamond?
Frankly, I didn't know what a lab-grown diamond was until a few months before we went shopping for a ring.
Demand for lab-grown diamonds has spiked the past few years, driven primarily by younger buyers, attracted to their affordability, sustainability, and traceability.
I was turned off just by knowing how some mined diamonds are sourced.
So if it wasn't for being a lab-grown diamond, you perhaps would not have gotten a diamond engagement ring.
Yeah, I'd probably just get a band.
The diamonds can cost up to 50% less.
This is where you grow diamonds.
Yes, this is our state-of-the-art production facility.
Jonathan Levine Miles is an executive at WD Diamonds, a pioneer in the lab-grown diamond industry.
You're saying these are very much real diamonds?
Yes, correct. I can attest to that, having made them myself.
The jewels developed in this top secret lab just outside D.C. from paper-thin slices of a diamond, blasted with gases and microwaves. And Levine Miles says the results are the same as natural diamonds.
Lab-grown diamonds are chemically, physically, optically the same as mined diamonds.
It's a process that Levine Miles says consumes less energy than mining.
These are actually trapezoids.
Nelson and Drygas are now married and looking forward to a future together.
What does this ring symbolize?
It symbolizes us, our relationship, our commitment to one another.
And there's a certain ring to that. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a clear but cold start to the day across the 4 states, and we're going to remain clear through the day. We've got an absolutely gorgeous Monday for you, but There's some changes on the way. We're going to talk about those changes, including some rain and a big cool down here in just a few minutes. But first, the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl is a great way to kick off the week, right? But we've got another pretty great way to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. Those are just around the corner. But first, let's see what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Dana Jacobson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, a look back on Super Bowl Sunday. From the game to Rihanna's halftime show to the commercials. That's all coming up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for some Monday birthdays, and we begin with our neighbors in Crestline with Emma Jesse celebrating number 9 today. Taking that photo there with a really awesome looking turtle, Emma, and I hope your day is as awesome as you are. Happy birthday.
And we have Rhea Watson celebrating number 12 in Pittsburgh. I see she loves riding horses and playing softball with love from mom, dad, Roro, sister, and family.
And we've got Rosalia Cruz celebrating number 17 today. Happy birthday, Rosalia.
And up next, Riley Clarkson in Columbus. Happy birthday to little Riley. There she is with her mother.
And we've got Bella Dawn Hall celebrating the big 21 in Pittsburgh with love from Aunt Charity and Uncle Jamie and the family. Happy birthday, Bella.
Carly McQuiston turning 29 years old in Pittsburgh. There she is on the left with the cake in the face and everything. Love mom, dad, and family.
And we've got Ernie Hoke celebrating number 70 today. Ernie, a very happy birthday to you.
Melinda Powers in Girard. Happy birthday to Melinda.
And we've got Rick and Sherry O'Neill in Neodesha. Great throwback picture there as this one goes back 40 years as the O'Neills celebrate that 40th anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Right. And also on our list, Walt York celebrating birthday number 32, our neighbor in Crestline, Kansas.
And we've got Chloe McGowan over in Columbus celebrating today. Happy birthday, Chloe.
Also in Columbus, Kathy Leonard. Happy birthday.
And Barnett Gateway celebrating number 46 in Pittsburgh.
And it's a 52nd wedding anniversary for the Buckners in Webb City. Congrats going out to George and Kathy Buckner. Happy 52nd from your niece.
All right, what a great list of birthdays and anniversaries. And like I say every day, we want to make it great. So how can they help us keep it great, Tanya?
Well, they can easily send us an email with all the birthday information and your picture. Don't forget that to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com.
And while you're checking out our website, because in case you haven't recently, it's really cool and it's got cool things on it. And one of the cool things it has is the KOAM Birthday Club. You can sign up for some special deals from local businesses. You also get a really cool birthday message from your friends here at KOAM. So head over to KOAMnewsnow.com and sign up for the birthday club today. And I imagine some of you are feeling a little under the weather today following the Chiefs' incredible victory at the Super Bowl last night. And if you are spending the day at home, or even if you do have to be at work, it's not going to be a bad day. First, we've got these wind advisories kicking in tomorrow morning, and they run through Wednesday morning, and that's going to be for gusts pushing 50 to 55 miles an hour. We'll talk about those in just a second. MoDOT camera, 32nd and range line. Sun is rising, skies are clear, roads are dry, and there is that sunrise. Some beautiful colors there from 7th and range line. 33 in Joplin right now, feeling like 28 with a west-northwest breeze at 6. Across the area, again, it's a cold start for us. 28 in Iola, 30 in Parsons, 35 Miami, 33 Neosho, Carthage, and 32 in Lamar. Now, as we go through today, we will have abundant sunshine and calm winds for now, and we'll make it up to 48 by 11 o'clock. So a gorgeous start to the day, and it gets better from there as we're heading for highs upper 50s, maybe even the lower 60s with mostly clear skies. We'll start to see some partly cloudy skies by 4 before those clouds really roll in and we become cloudy as we head into the evening hours. We'll hit 47 by 8 and then just kind of hover there. 47 are low, and then showers will start to move in late tonight and then into tomorrow. And you can see those showers here on the future track as they start to roll in. Could even see a few scattered thunderstorms tomorrow. No severe weather anticipated at this point, but a few thunderstorms are possible with some heavier rain. Overall, we should get about a ½ inch to upwards of almost 3/4 of an inch of rain. And again, if we see some thunderstorms, could see some locally heavier amounts. As we get into overnight tonight and into tomorrow, here's why that wind advisory is out. Winds already gusting very high. We head into the afternoon, they're peaking at 40, and as we get further into the afternoon and early evening, that's when they reach that max of maybe 50 to 55 miles an hour. And on top of that, sustained winds, not counting the gusts, are going to be in that 30 to 40 mile an hour range, and that's outside of any thunderstorm activity we may see. Up to 56 tomorrow, 65 Wednesday, 40-degree drop down to 25. A light snow, wintry mix possible in our northwestern counties late Wednesday into Thursday, 35, 39 Friday, and then we start to warm up as we head into the upcoming weekend. More of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A car crash in Lawrence County takes the life of an Aurora, Missouri man on Saturday about 3:50 in the afternoon. A 2007 Chrysler 300 driven by Paul Sheridan of Aurora, Missouri ran off the left side of Farm Road 2212 and struck a gate and the corner post of a fence. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Joplin police are searching for a person of interest in a shooting investigation from last week. The shooting happened last Tuesday at 9th and Monroe in the Fairview neighborhood. A man was taken to the hospital with a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. Police are now trying to find 34-year-old Adam Kassler of Joplin. Kassler has active felony warrants out of Newton County and the city of Joplin for failure to appear. Authorities say Kassler should be considered armed and dangerous. Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce is giving residents a chance to know local businesses. The annual Pittsburgh Business Expo kicked off Friday with the theme Hollywood Walk of Fame. Businesses could showcase their products and services to members of the community. It was also a learning opportunity for some students. And the Missouri Department of Conservation holds an event to teach the public how to build bluebird boxes. People who want to learn more about bluebirds and help provide nesting habitats for them should plan to attend the Bluebird Basics Workshop on February 18th at the MDC's Shoal Creek Conservation Education Center in Joplin. The event is free to the public and runs from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Each family will construct and take one bluebird box home. Boards will be provided, but participants will need to bring an electric screwdriver or drill with a Phillips head drill bit. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And as you head out the door, it's a cold one, but with plentiful sunshine, we'll start to warm up by up to 48 by 11. We're looking at highs in the upper 50s to even maybe the lower 60s out there with more than enough sunshine. And as we head into this evening, clouds increase. We will hit 47 and stay there. Showers will build in as we head into the overnight, and that translates into some scattered thunderstorm chances tomorrow. No severe weather expected, but some heavier rain possible. 56, 65 Wednesday, 40-degree drop Wednesday, and some light wintry mix possible in our northwestern counties Wednesday into Thursday.
All right, well, coming up today at noon, we're making baked spaghetti cake in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings, and Super Bowl commercials are always a hot topic of conversation. Ahead on CBS Mornings, Chris Van Cleve takes a look at this year's offerings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, the polar plunge splashed down over the weekend to benefit Special Olympics Kansas, and KOAM's Yana Tula had a poolside view of the event.
Plus, we take a closer look at one of our rising young talents here at KOAM in a profile you don't want to miss. That's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, bright and early at 5 a.m.
And we're going to do it again today at noon.